Okay guys, we just finished Voodoo tour, New Orleans. Got a lot of the real history about the Voodoo culture, African culture, New Orleans. Learned a lot. Even though I'm from here, a lot of history I didn't know about. Yeah. So stay tuned for more. I don't know what else I'm gonna do, but we're gonna get into something else. One, watching Big King Travels.
Is the Hollywood plantation, but don't go looking for that one because it got burned down in the Civil War. My ancestors toasted it.
Oh yeah.
Then when slavery was abolished, the land was given to my ancestors. Us descendants, we still live on that land today. And as of 11 years ago, it is now ours in our names.
Right.
Yes, I don't know if y'all know y'all history on slavery, but that's a 400-year struggle. We just won only 11 years ago, as in less than 12. Why is that important? Grandma's still alive, still on that land, 99 years old as of last December, y'all. She about this high. She no bigger than that. Y'all, I got all the men in my family tall, all the women are like, they're a little tiny. But she's a high priestess in Louisiana plantation voodoo. That's a mouthful, so just say Louisiana voodoo. When I turned the age of 18, my family come together, I took my vows, went through the rites and rituals, and I became a high priest as well. So you do got the real deal. I'm a full-fledged, born and raised Creole, the whole shebang. I'm the Louisiana stereotype. That's Dad's side of the family to talk about my mom, the lady that, as we say, made my head, made me a high priest on the other side. She's from Haiti, by West Africa, Benin. She's a born and raised high priestess in Haitian Benin voodoo, and African Benin voodoo and traditional Haitian voodoo. And when I turned the age of 28, I took my vows, went through the rites and rituals, and became a high priest in Haitian voodoo as well. Then went back home to West Africa and got initiated a year later in African voodoo. But I'm not a priest. I'm already in charge of too many countries. So not only do you have a born and raised voodoo priest, I'm born and raised in not one, not two, 3 forms of the religion. And I'm the only male voodoo priest in this whole city giving tours. That's not a brag, that's a complaint. I'm not bragging, I'm complaining because I need some of these family members to step up. Yeah. But everything y'all about to see and go through up in there, baby, this is all straight from Africa, Haiti, and New Orleans. Ain't no middleman, ain't no script. So as a native, I want to say tout le monde bienvenue. Welcome to New Orleans and Louisiana from me to y'all. Now the rules are simple. Take as many photos and video as much as you like. Why? We're not hiding from y'all. My family is out here every Sunday at 3 p.m. doing ritual. All y'all are invited unless it rains. If it's raining, they're not coming out here because the drums can't get wet. But today, if the sun starts shining around that time, listen for the drums and come out here. So we're not hiding, so video, take the photos. The second rule is important to me as a historian. Ask me as many questions as you like. Even if you think the questions are offensive, ask the questions. Don't let this face and this goofiness fool you. But I'm a documented historian by the Smithsonian and the New Orleans Historic Society. And I cite sources. So please, ask questions. I'm required to do this by city law. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to stand here for 10 minutes and talk about New Orleans history for 10 minutes. Do I look like I'm about to stay here for 10 minutes and talk about New Orleans history on a voodoo tour? We need to get straight to this voodoo because I'm ready to go ahead and shred that voodoo doll to pieces, oh y'all. Because y'all need to stop buying that ugly ass thing. Y'all seen them? You seen them? Yes. They stay in the store like this here. Yeah, that don't seem off to y'all. Yeah. Okay, we need to talk about that mess. Okay, all right, but I gotta give y'all just a tiny piece of history. So 30 seconds, and then we're gonna move on to that. And y'all gonna tell people we stood here for 10 minutes talking about New Orleans history. Here we go. North Rampart Street right here is named North Rampart Street because there actually was a rampart right there. But don't think wall. I want everybody here thinking sticks, stones, and dirt. You gotta remember the time period, talking about 1800s. The wall literally surrounded the entire French Quarter back then because the French Quarter, as you see it right there, that was the original city of New Orleans. That was the whole city of New Orleans, just that tiny ass neighborhood. The French built that city to drink and have most sex. There's your New Orleans history. Come on. All right, we're just going right here to the gate so y'all can see. Look at the offerings that are left. I know some of y'all thought this was just random shit that somebody threw on the ground. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all got these big ass umbrellas. Short people, let's see that pretty lady behind you, brother. She can't see. Yeah. And look at that gorgeous lady right there. She can't see neither. But your umbrella about ready to knock down the Empire State Building. That's a big ass umbrella.
No, it's not mine.
Well, won't you come right here then? Come right here. That way you can, there you go. That's better, right?
If it gets windy,
Mary Poppins away. Take a look. You'll notice there's gum, there's sweet gum. I don't know what that is. That's some hot sauce. Hey! That's so Louisiana. And then you see the money and the white rocks. And this is all beans that the rain decided to wash away right there. Those of you who never seen what lentils look like when they come up out the ground by themselves, you know, when you make your lentil soups and stuff, this is what lentils look like right there when they spring up and grow. And they can be harvested, but you know you gotta harvest so many lentils just to get like one little cup. And then also notice we're by the gate. The name of the gate, Armstrong Park. Here's the thing about Armstrong. He didn't grow up here. He grew up uptown New Orleans. And they named the park after him because jazz music was born right here. We'll go into more detail about that and where it started in a few minutes. But they named the park after Louis Armstrong because if it wasn't for him spreading jazz music around the world, we wouldn't have most of the music that we have today. But the offerings are left by the gate to a man who's known as the Gatekeeper. His name is, he got 3 names, and the 3 make 1. First name, he represents your past. His name is Papa Eshu, E-X-U, Papa Eshu. He's a little kid running around playing tricks on people. Everybody got that mischievous child in the family that stay in trouble all the time. Now, I'm sensing that was you growing up, by the way. It probably was her. Anyway, but he's a little kid. He represents your childhood, your past, where you all come from. Then you have the grown version of him, kind of look like me, Papa Alegwa. He has the 2 dogs on either side and has that cane. Very tall, handsome man with a bunch of abs on there, like delicious abs. I don't know if y'all can tell I'm gay as hell. Okay. The last version is my favorite version. His name is Papa Legba, Legba Atimon. He's the old version of the time. Past, present, and future. He represents your future. He's the protector of all children, sits on the front porch in his rocking chair. He got a brown paper bag. He told the children that's his iced tea. You know that's moonshine, right? The children in the front yard tearing up the whole yard to pieces, right? Because their mom and dad at work. Now, granddad is supposed to be babysitting the babies and making sure they don't tear up nothing. But they didn't tear up the whole yard. Then they mom and dad to get off work and see their whole yard tore to pieces. They mad. Who the children gonna run to? Granddaddy. And what granddaddy gonna do? Come here, babies. Y'all leave these babies alone. These babies ain't mean no harm. And clean up that nasty yard. They tore it to pieces. Come on, babies. That's Legba. So he's the protector of children. He also is the one you pray to open doors of opportunity. So let's say you're trying to get a new job, trying to get a new house, trying to buy a new car, trying to get into a new college. I think y'all in college? Y'all, is it full paid scholarship? We gonna say next year, God, make sure every person on this tour in college get a full paid scholarship to whatever university of they choosing. Because one of the biggest scams in this country so far has been student loans. Outside of bottled water, but they not ready for that conversation yet, God. They don't smoke weed yet, so we had that conversation. Any questions? All right, now, opportunity. If you would like to leave a penny, a nickel, a dime, a quarter, a piece of candy, a piece of your hair, you can leave whatever you want to the Gatekeeper. Please do so. It's your choice. I'm gonna give you an opportunity right now to go home and tell all y'all family, we practiced a little voodoo while I was in New Orleans. Make you a bowl of popcorn and sit back and watch them freak out. And then once they get done freaking out, you can tell them the truth behind what we actually are versus what Hollywood told them, and also their culture and their religion told them. Speaking of that, we have to go destroy that. We got to go destroy Hollywood and common misconceptions.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all ain't got no questions, so we're gonna head in. Every time I come out here, this must be a sign. Somebody trying to communicate with me because for the past 2 weeks, I've been coming out here and finding this right here. And I keep putting it over there.
Yeah.
And it keeps moving back.
It keeps coming right back here. I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave you that in. It ain't meant for me, maybe. I don't know. This is a hangover bench, so if you need to sit down, you can definitely sit down whenever you get ready. Or if you're just tired of the humidity, sit down. So, come closer too, because I can't scream at you. All right, we do need to talk about some stereotypes though, like for real, because Hollywood really got y'all messed up. Especially some of y'all that come from certain groups in y'all families that haven't really left y'all family and left that land in like 60, 50 years. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay. Holly, come here, baby, back there, the handsome one. Come back here, come up here. Cutie self. This, who you belong, that's yours?
That's mine.
Oh, okay, come on up here, baby. He's so handsome. He ain't got no gay twin brother, do he?
No.
Come closer to me. Oh, look at, oh my goodness, he's so, Girl, how you doing? Where you from?
LA.
This a lot of man. Hey, ain't you look what I found? I found a new man. He was just walking past me. She said, but he just came on over here like a little dumb puppy. He belonged to her.
Okay. We can share.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my aunt. I'm so sorry. That's my aunt Denise.
How y'all doing?
She's on the tour too. I'm gonna give y'all her information after the tour.
No stray men around. Believe me, I'll call you before you.
Y'all see you running the family? Anyway, back to you. Let me ask you a question. You ever dip your toes in chocolate before, baby?
Me? No,
Yeah.
I have not.
Can I teach him the expression that we carry? You don't mind, do you?
I don't know.
Okay, you know the expression. When you go black,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
you never go back. But when you go white, you get the credit right. All righty. So, I got this close to this man for a reason. It's not the reason y'all think. But according to Hollywood, I need one ingredient from him in order to make him feel pain. I'm gonna give you a hint. I did this to him. Anybody? His hair.
Oh.
Now I got your hair. You know what I can make? A voodoo doll. Now I gotta make the voodoo doll look like you. Black shirt, gray shorts, and the red and white shoes. You can always tell when somebody don't have a gay best friend. Look how this boy came out the house. Now who the hell told you that was okay to walk out your front door?
You didn't say anything.
Yeah, but look what she got on.
Yeah, those are his choices, not hers.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
apparently.
he's
Okay, anyway, you need to get you a gay best friend. You too handsome and got too much muscle to be dressing like this. You hear me? Promise me you'll get you a gay best friend.
I'll work on
Okay, all right. He said he gonna work on it. All right, so put the hair on the doll, because now it looks like you. Now it's activated according to Hollywood. And anywhere I stab I got this new needle now, brand new needle with this feather, a black feather on the end of it. Give it a little flair. And anywhere I stab this doll with the needle, this is where your acting skills come into play. He's gonna feel the pain. So first I'm gonna stab in his arm. You can that's not, wait. I ain't even did the stabbing yet.
Sorry.
How you premature with this? Hold on one second. All right, maybe the doll wasn't tight enough. Let me tighten the doll up a little bit. You ready?
All right.
Stab in his arm. Yeah. No, not in the leg. You are just so underwhelming. Just so underwhelming. In the head. Go back over there. Give him a little applause. He did all right. He did all right. Okay, few more just to throw them out there before we move on. They say we worship the devil. That's a big one. Now, devil worshiping and Satanism. That's a big one. Also, if we killed as many chickens as Hollywood say we killed, there'd be no more chickens on the planet. Oh, yeah, like really. Hollywood say we always killing chickens. And I'm like, where these chickens keep coming from? And why are they always black? Y'all know I got other color roosters in the world, right? They got red ones and white ones and brown ones. You got the black ones with the white polka dot. Like chickens come in polka dots. Why y'all always trying to give us the black chicken? And then they say we chop the head off the chicken, then we drink the blood. And you're supposed to rub the blood all over our body. And then we're supposed to draw these pentagrams. And I'm like, where these pentagrams come from? We're African, that's European. Make that make sense. And then all of a sudden the devil supposed to come out the ground and be like, ooh, and then grant us black magic. I'm still so confused. Y'all know what's crazy about all this stuff I'm saying? There are people on this planet right now that truly believe that we got the power to do all of that and that we are the spawn of the devil. I had my friend Eddie, a friend of his told him that we are devil worshipers and that everything from voodoo comes from the devil, and that's why they always asking for money. And I'm just sitting here going, I'm the youngest of 8. I got 6 sisters. I never asked for anything before in my entire life. They always provide. I think I made my point. All that stuff is made up. All of it. Like really, y'all, y'all really think we got the power to curse. So voodoo is a real old, authentic religion. How old are we? We're 6,000 years older than Christianity, believe it or not. I'm gonna repeat that. 6,000 years older than some of y'all Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But who's older than us? The religion of Ifa, who we branched off of in northern Nigeria. Let me tell you what had happened, because some of y'all come from big family like me. What had happened was the elders got into a tiff with the youngins. The elders say, we want to worship God this way. And the youngins say, no, we can't do that because we got new people that we're discovering, new lands, new places. We got these new spices. We need to worship God this way. And the elders say, no, we're going to keep it the same. We're going to continue to worship God this way. And the youngins were like, but we meeting new people. We're discovering new things in the world. We should keep up with the people. The elders say, no. And the children were like, oh yeah, bet. So the children left northern Nigeria, went further West Africa to what we call modern day Benin, and changed their name from Ifa to Vodou, V-O-D-O-U, or Vodoun, V-O-D-O-U-N, or Vodun, V-O-D-U-N. No voodoo, not voodoo. That word was created by white French Catholic slave owners who misheard the West African slaves refer to their religion as Voodoo. Speaking French here, Vieux Dieu, which means old God. And then the English language came along, butchering languages along the way, and that became voodoo. So no voodoo. Vodou, Vodun, or Vodun. Now, who didn't care about any of this? The French, the English, the German, the Spanish, and the Dutch. All they knew was that there were people that looked like this right here, sold for a lot of money over there in the West on something known as a plantation, and it was a very lucrative business. So they went to West Africa, captured all these innocent people, brung them over here to the West, and they didn't just land here. As we all know, the American history books trying to lie to y'all right now, telling y'all they only had slavery in North America. Looking at you, New York, Tennessee, and Florida. Central and South America get harder. Them just a bunch of rowdy teenagers. Y'all don't have that in y'all towns? Where the teenagers get out of school and they ain't got no energy to burn, so they just stay outside screaming at each other? That's all you're experiencing? They just loud about it, because this is a loud-ass city. Anyway, so, oh yeah, when these people were brought over here. So slavery happened in Central and South America too, harder than in North America. Mexico had West African slaves. That's how we got Santeria. Brazil had West African slaves. That's how we got Candomblé, Ubanda, and Kibanda. Cuba had West African slaves. That's how we got Palo. Haiti, that's how we got the Haitian Voodoo. Dominican Republic, that's how we got the 21 divisions, AKA Dominican Voodoo. Jamaica, that's how we got Oya. Let's bring it home to the United States. Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, and Arkansas all used to be the same place. That's how we got Louisiana Voodoo. North and South Carolina, northern part of Florida, east part of Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, all used to be the same place. That's how we got the Gullah Geechee. I'm proud of myself on that one. That was hard. I'm proud of myself on that one. So Palo, Ifa, Candomblé, Obeya, Lukumi, Kibanda, Santeria, Vodou, Mayombe, Gullah Geechee, Ubanda, they're all the same religion. Only difference is in Mexico, they speak that beautiful Mexican Spanish. We speak a French Creole, as you heard me speaking earlier, etc., etc., etc. So before we move on, here's the major setup so y'all know what we're about to go do next. We worship and we believe in God. You know what that mean, right? Stop emailing me asking me to bring back your ex-girlfriend. Bro, she gone, you the problem. She gone, I can't bring her back. Like, sis, he left you because you're not in love with yourself. That's why he deuced out. Now, what does that have to do with God? If we worship and believe in God, why would we believe that God would give the power to one human being to take away the free will of another human being? What kind of God you worshiping? That's like me going, oh, I want that delicious muscle man for myself. You got some muscles on you, baby. God damn, girl, you did good. But then I want him for myself and I don't want you to have him. So let me go in the backyard and kill a black chicken and then draw a blood pentagram on the ground and say an ancient incantation. And then God just gonna allow the innocent breakup of the innocent people? Like, are you serious? What kind of God you worshiping that'll allow some shit like that to happen? Sorry, y'all, we don't have that power. And for those of you who come from cultures that say, well, we actually do have the power to curse, go back to the 1980s and see when that shit started, whenever Latina and black women were taking advantage of white women who were literally stealing their money, and these white women would go to these blacks and Latinas and be like, hey, can you do some magic to bring my husband back? He's not giving me enough money. And they'd be like, give me $400. And they take all running with the money just to get their revenge. That's when that started. So I'm so sorry, y'all. Now, we worship and believe in God, because I'm about to defend Jesus in a few minutes. Under God, you have something known as the Loi of the Orisha. They are above man and below God. Any Catholics? Any recovering Catholics? Oof. Okay, how you dealing with that Catholic guilt? Don't worry about it. All right, so if you know anything about Catholicism, this is gonna sound familiar, because once we get done with this, we're gonna move on. Who are the Loi and the Orisha above man and below God? Well, they're regular folks like all of us. Look at everybody here. Different colors, different textures, and different sizes. These people are the same, and they were born and raised down here on earth in the biblical days. Some of these people were born before that time, some of these people were born after that time, and some of these people have always existed. But because of the good deeds and the miracles they perform in the name of God, when they died, God elevated them to that middle position, above man and below God, known as Loi or Orisha. Patted them on the back and said, hey, you did a marvelous job down there on earth. Here's a spiritual job in a spiritual domain. Now man pray to the Loi before they pray to God. Catholics, sound familiar? Y'all do the same thing. Only difference is the Catholics do not call them the Loi or the Orisha, they call them the saints. And I can't leave my brother Jesus out. I see you, bruh. I'm looking at Jesus. He's not up there, I'm just pointing at him. He ain't up there, I'm just pointing at him. Wait, Robi, you acknowledge Jesus? Why not leave Jesus out, Robi? You're not a Christian, and neither was Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's make some people mad. The brother was Jewish by blood, by culture, and by religion, and he died a Jew.
Yeah.
But he started Christianity. No, he didn't. And we got proof that he didn't. The word didn't even pop up till 1,000 years after that brother supposedly walked the earth. All 11 of them. Yes, we've had 11 people in history called Christ. Here's the reason why. Christ is a title bestowed to Christians who would leave their homes and volunteer to feed the homeless and help the poor people in the community. They did not spread their religious beliefs like butter, but they dedicated their lives to living their life like Jesus. That's a true Christian. Because any religion that requires you to leave your home and find total strangers in the world and convince them that who they are is wrong and your way is right, and if they don't convert to your side, they're eternally damned or they're a bad person, you're not in a religion. You're not in a culture. You're not even in a spirituality. You're in a cult. Seek help. Let me move on. I have to defend Jesus because I'm tired of people lying on Jesus. And one more, Jesus tore up a whole temple to show y'all to stop adding y'all politics to y'all religious beliefs. Your own Lord and Savior did that. Just gonna throw it out there. I gotta defend him because I'm tired of people lying on him. Let's move on because that brother was cool. Who you know that can turn water into wine? Come on. You can't tell me that don't sound like witchcraft to y'all. Okay, let's move on.
Mother made him do it.
Yeah, the fact that he was able to do it. Come on, brother. Like, that's somebody to defend. I'm sorry, I gotta defend. That's somebody to defend. He turned water into wine, walked on top of water, fed 5,000 people with 2 little fish and 5 babilos. Come on, that don't sound like witchcraft. just throwing it out there. Let's move on. Robi, where did all the ooga booga blood and bones, devil worship and skulls, hexes? That's gonna be the journey now. We're gonna head on back to the 17 and the 1800s. Every last one of you here in this family, you're a slave despite your skin color. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. I promise you all came from slavery. I promise you, every last one of you, there are people being left out of history, and as a historian, I refuse to leave them out. Ireland, Scotland, all of Asia, the poor French and the poor English who couldn't afford to pay for their homes. Yeah, these are all slaves on naming. We're all coming from somewhere. Now, 99.9% of the slaves did come from Africa. You can have a country over there this big with 18 languages. I mean, just stuffed up in there. And none of them languages are related to each other. Country right beside it this big too. They not related. Them the people that were sold as slaves over there in the quarter. They can't talk to each other. Slave owners speaking French. How are we gonna communicate? All these people with these different languages? Same way my ancestors did it back then, and I was just on the phone with my mom doing this without realizing it. Any of y'all speak French? No French, what, really? No French speakers? Well, tout le monde parle français. M'parle Louisiana et m'parle haïtien. And I said in my language, I don't speak French. I said I speak Louisiana Creole, and then I said I speak a little Haitian Creole. So what's a Creole language? Because you hear it all the time. Here's what it is. Take the French language and throw it in a gumbo pot. That's gonna be your roux, gravy, whatever. You're gonna take the languages out of our mouth. African languages like Kiswahili, Makumba dialect, Zulu, Tosa, chop them all up into pieces and throw them on top of French and blend them up, bam. Got you a language gumbo. That's what a Creole language is. All right, we good now. Now we got everything we need. Common language, common religion. We're all slaves. We set the stage and sing. Any questions?
What's the difference between Louisiana Creole and Haiti Creole?
What's the difference between Louisiana Creole and Haitian Creole? There's a dialect difference, as in there's a speech difference with certain words, but they can communicate with each other.
Okay.
So they can understand each other. Here's an example. To say in French, I need a peach, you would say, j'ai besoin d'une pêche. To say I need a peach in Haitian Creole, you would say, besoin pêche. So not j'ai besoin. So besoin pêche. The Louisiana Creole, mo besoin llama. So someone who speaks French and Haitian Creole would say, qu'est-ce que c'est llama? And I have to say, llama means pêche or peach. So we can communicate and just ask what the difference is. Any other questions? That was a good question. Y'all seem that the humidity messing with some of y'all, and I got my eye on you. Because you got them 2 little beads of sweat still sitting right there in the same spot. And I'm like, is she gonna pass out or not? Okay, come on over here so we can get the voodoo stuff in. Now, this pretty lady right here, this pretty lady walked up on this tour today and told me not only can her sandals get wet, but the dress is also made to get wet. And look how fabulous she looked. Like, that's them goals right there. Looking fabulous, but also practical at the same time. I like that. Didn't Mary Poppins say something about that? Perfectly practical in every way or something? What she said? Something.
Practically perfect.
Practically perfect in every way. You would know that, bright cheeks. That's a compliment. Come closer. I want to show y'all the wild beans. So these are wild red beans, and if you don't believe me, look at the bean pod right there, which is, these are dying. They're being drowned out by the rain. But there's a bean pod right there. I'm gonna put it here. And then these are what wild pinto beans look like, also being drowned by the rain. Don't worry, they come back every year. They just sprout up. They are edible, but always remember, you gotta harvest so many beans. It's just easy to go to the grocery store and just do your thing. Also notice the white rocks left here is offering, and also the perfume, candle wax, because they were burning candles out here probably the other day. And the money, just like you saw at the gate, you'll find money here too. The rain kind of took away some of the stuff. Oh look, there's some earrings. Look at the golden, right there, bunch of stuff. Anyway, this tree and the offerings that are left under the tree are left to the spirit of the ocean. Her name is Yemaya. If you speak Spanish, you would know her as a different name, La Sirena or La Sirena, the siren or the mermaid. She has the blue mermaid tail, also long flowing black hair, lots of seashells up in it, and she got big old cassava melons up here because she gave birth to everything. She gave birth to the whole universe. She's part of our creation story. God went to our 3 major female spirits, and I'm gonna call their names out. The youngest, her name is Oshun. She all over you. That's the spoiled one, the one that always get what she want, always gotta have it a certain way. The pretty one that don't want to put her feet on the ground because it's too dirty, I can't put my bare feet on the ground, always complaining about something. Yeah, that's Oshun. My mama's an Oshun.
That's how they explain.
Still ain't her sister. Oh shit. Yeah, she definitely, my auntie, she's definitely an Oshun. That's my mama's sister. For real. Like, you see how she dressed?
Yeah.
All that bougie, all that the African, all that. And here's the nerd over here with the Mario shirt on. All right, yeah, Oshun is like that though. Oshun is that bougie woman. All right, middle sister Oya, the spirit of tornadoes and hurricanes. So she's the spirit of air, but she's also the woman that stand on business. She won't say much, but she'll stand back with her 2 daggers and dare somebody to say something. And then you have Yemaya, the oldest, who's the spirit of the ocean, salt water, and life, and relationships and marriages. Well, when God asked the 3 sisters, hey, which one of you want to give birth to the whole universe? The 2 youngest sisters, Oya and Oshun, started bigger with each other. And Yemaya stepped up and said, God, I'll do it. And God was like, I don't know about that. You ain't got no legs. You got a mermaid tail. How you gonna give birth to the whole universe? And then Yemaya's brother, who I'm gonna introduce y'all to in a minute, stepped up and said, God, I know she can give birth to the whole universe. I believe in her, she can do it. God was like, all righty then. So God impregnated Yemaya, and she successfully gave birth to the entire universe. And as a gift, God allowed what she gave birth to continue giving birth to itself, hence the expansion of the universe. And then God granted her the ability to change her mermaid fin to legs, so she can descend down here and walk amongst everything that she gave birth to. So you'll always find a lot of precious stones nearby somewhere, because we believe that she has to land on precious stones because she herself is so precious. She's also my mother, my Met Tet, known as my head spirit. And all of you have a Met Tet, but y'all don't call them Met Tets. Y'all may come from backgrounds that call them guardian angels. And if you're not in the religion of Voodoo, then normally we believe it's one of your ancestors, like your grandparents. Some of y'all say, oh, the butterfly that flew past, that's my grandma, let me know she's there. Let this voodoo priest confirm that for you. That is your grandmother. By the grace of God, she's up there on top of your head, and I'm gonna use science to back it up. Energy can neither be created or destroyed. It can only be used and redirected, and has always existed. And when energy has nowhere to go, it must return to its source. Who's the source? You! You're the source. You carry the DNA of everybody that came before you. So yeah, that's your grandma up there going, I'm up here thanks to God. Stop that crying. Let me send my perfume I used to wear when I was alive. When you smell it, you know I'm right here. What y'all do? I smell her perfume. And she's sitting up there going, stop that crying. Now see, the son of butterfly, perfume, you know what I'm gonna do next? I'm gonna make sure the same number follow you no matter where you go. That number gonna be popping up everywhere you go, and you gonna know that's me. And then by that point, y'all like to listen to the people that's not religious tell you, you're crazy, and then y'all believe them, and then you think you're crazy. I just use science and religion to back up that you are protected by y'all ancestors. Some of y'all should be enjoying that healing, and that's by the grace of God. Any questions? Y'all got no questions? Y'all could be. Go ahead, sis.
How is this place related to the religion?
This place?
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's coming up next. Well, not next, but the next
You'll
after
explain
this.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's coming. And I'm going to take you to where it started, so you can feel it, girl.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta do a therapy session today because some of these people on the tour today need one. So we're gonna do it today. I thought I saw, okay, my family is out here everywhere just so, cause and one of them like to walk up, my son especially like to sneak up on me and try to shock me. So when y'all was laughing right there, I was trying to make sure it wasn't one of them. Okay, any other questions? No? All right, we're gonna head on to the next thing. And don't worry, this tour is not based around trees, even though we're going to a tree, man.
Is there a book? Like, do you have a religious text?
Actually, no, we don't have that. Two reasons. First reason is because it was illegal for black people to read and write whenever they were free. Second reason is that our knowledge and our memories are always passed down from elder to child. So, for instance, in our culture, children when they're born, they have to spend their first week not with their mother, but with their grandmother. Yep, because the grandmother is closest to the veil, along with the child being closest to the veil. So the first week is always spent with grandma. But you know what that creates, right? This. Spoiled children. Yeah, it creates spoiled children. And then because we're a woman-dominated culture, not a man-dominated culture, all the boys are spoiled. And all we want to do is just please women.
Yeah.
We don't have half the problems that some of y'all have in y'all other cultures. As you can see, look at all this metal that's down there on the ground. That's significant. You even see there's a metal can top. What y'all call these things? I forgot the name of them. Pop top. Pop top. Yeah. Pop top metal, and then the metal stakes here, and then also more, I don't know, I guess these are just easy to find. Pop top, pennies there, battery, which has metal in it. And then the rain has definitely done a number on the peppers, and my family will replace the peppers later, but there are dry, I'll show you the seeds of the pepper. See the seeds there? Now these will grow back up, like these will sprout up out the ground and grow more spicy peppers, and then we'll leave them as offerings, or you can cook with them too. You know, y'all need to start eating y'all invasives. You ever heard of that before? Eat your invasives? Like the dandelions that y'all like to say, oh, those are weeds. I'm like, you can put that in the salad. They got more nutrients in that than spinach and the damn kale y'all be getting from the store. But some of y'all not ready for that conversation. What'd you say?
Probably tastes better.
It do taste better. You gotta, now the dandelion, now you got me started. Dandelions, you gotta blanch them at least 3 times because there's a compound in them that is kind of bitter. It's kind of healthy for you, but a lot of Americans don't like bitter tasting foods. So you gotta blanch them, and then when you cook them down after that 3rd blanch, throw a little, if you're vegan, throw some vegan butter in there. If you're not vegan, throw some bacon in there. You swear that was the best collard greens you probably ever had, but it's not collard greens, it's dandelions. They're really good for your stomach. People with stomach issues, or they have the acid problem. What's it called?
Acid reflux.
Acid reflux, yeah. People, like dandelion is really good for your gut. Just a little extra tidbit out there. We call that in the religion, not voodoo. We call that hoodoo, Hoodoo, which is the herbology, the root work. It's the knowing to take the whiskey and the lemon, Southerners, with the whiskey and the lemon and the peppermint, heat it up with the lighter, and then we call it a hot toddy. Believe it or not, that started amongst the West African slaves. That is hoodoo. That's what you're practicing, Southerners. Also, when y'all lighting candles on the birthday cake, y'all know y'all practicing witchcraft, right? That's Celtic witchcraft. That's where lighting candles on the cake come from. You know, if you stir your pot to the left and not turn it to the right, you're practicing witchcraft, right? Ladies, when you put your purse on the ground, you know you're practicing witchcraft, right? I'm telling y'all, all the stuff that people died for in the 1800s, not just black people. This is people white, black, purple, and green. So y'all can see how ridiculous racism and religious discrimination is. This spirit is the protector of people who come from those backgrounds. That's why I brought all that up. His name is Papa Ogun. In Haiti, his name is Papa Ogun. They just dropped the N. He's the spirit of the forest, of metal as well, and also protection and war. But not war as in go and conquer. War as in defend yourself from people who are trying to conquer you. Because we don't believe in trying to conquer somebody and kill them to take their resources. You gotta trade with them. That's how it's supposed to be. Anyway, so he carries 2 machetes. He also has a hammer and an anvil. He is also part of our creation story. So when Yemaya was approached by God to give birth to the whole universe, and God was like, I don't know if you can do this, girl. You ain't got no legs. He was the one that said, God, I know she can give birth to the whole universe. I know she can do it. Look at all this chaos. You got all this positive, neutral, and negative chaos. She can do it. She can pull from that. And because she was successful, he got so excited, he took his hammer and his anvil and he hit it as hard as he could. The sparks from that created all the stars in the sky. So when our ancestors died, that's where they go to reside to watch over us descendants down here on Earth. Can you back that up with science? Duh, I can back up like a lot of stuff with science. Scientifically speaking, we're all just a bunch of space dust thrown together to create something that scientists call movement. The same space dust that makes your DNA is the same space dust that's burning in those stars and galaxies up there. We know because we have so much evidence of flying away from the Big Bang at 32,000 kilometers per second. It just took billions of years for all that matter and all that salt to bombard together to create those 3 saltwater pools, not one. They found one in Ethiopia where all life crawled out of. So whether you believe in religion, magic, or science, I just used all 3 to prove them your ancestors up there. Look up at night sometimes and say, thank you. Now, why am I using religion, magic, and science? Aren't those different? No, they all the same. Magic and religion is what we don't know. We just know that it works. But as soon as we find out exactly how the shit work, what we call it? Science. They're the same thing. Here's an example. Dark matter and dark energy. We don't know what the hell that shit is up there. That ain't nothing but a bunch of magic moving from black hole to black hole. But I promise you, Neil deGrasse Tyson gonna figure that shit out before he die. He always do. He always figure it out, baby. And when he figure it out, what we gonna call it? Science. It'll be a theory first and then it'll become a law. Any questions? All right, we need to go answer that question about how significant is this area. We gotta go talk about the Homa, Native Americans, and music. Yes, ma'am.
Why is there a candle?
The candle is burned to him. We burn candles for our spirits all the time. And each spirit has their own unique colors that are unique to them. However, if we don't have the color, then we always burn white, because white encompasses all colors. So someone came out here burning a candle praying to him. Traditionally made from pig fat, and then duck fat, and then, you know, when we became American, you know, the Industrial Revolution came around. Now we got the candles in the glass.
What happens when the tree dies?
Oh, that's so good. Oh, y'all are tickling both sides of my brain, the historic side and the science side. Okay, so a live oak tree, when they die naturally, they actually split in half and die because they become so top heavy and so old, because these can live to be thousands of years old. And then once they split in half and die, they become fertilizer for their own acorns that are under them, and then new oak trees come up. So we call them a resurrection plant. Now, if this dies, we'll designate another tree to another spirit. We can just pick one, and the elders just come together and choose which one they want to do. Anybody else? I'm encouraging questions. You can never ask too many. All right, let's go. Y'all need a therapy session. That's what it is. Some of y'all got anxiety and depression. When you go back and farther in time in Christianity, you actually will end up doing what I did, doing research on Christianity, expecting to find lies. I found the truth. And then once I found the truth, I realized I need to defend these people, because the true Christians are the ones who get the bad rep because of the bad Christians today. And so when you say you have a Christian background, there's nothing but respect. But make sure it's all about kindness and love, because Christianity was literally created to take care of people. I think that's wonderful. I think that's beautiful. Just hate that people lie on Jesus. That brother was too busy telling y'all to love. But don't get me started. Speaking of Jesus, I'm about to talk about the man again. Come over, y'all can see this. Look at that cathedral right there. Y'all see it? Yeah. That's the church, right? Now, I don't know if y'all been in there. Please go in that church and look up. It is so pretty. Like the artwork, the look up in that, that's a pretty ass. Now, I got to brag about my city on that one. That's a pretty ass cathedral. Now, at the bottom of the cathedral on the side, there's a tent in the way, but I want y'all to go to the back of the cathedral and see it. There is a statue of Jesus, and he's doing this, and we call him Touchdown Jesus. Because he's doing this. And at nighttime, they have a spotlight right there in front of him. So his shadow like this is up against the church. And believe it or not, I think it's kind of beautiful. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I have a thing for any figure in history that involves pure love. So Jesus, Eros, Cupid, I forgot the name of the Hindu god that was like over love, but I always defend love. The point of me telling you that is because of what happened with the Homa Native Americans when the Africans were brung here enslaved. You see, these people are French and they are Catholic. Mass don't last all day. France sent a document here to the New Paris, known as the Black Code, also known as the Code Noir. It was a list of laws on how to treat your slaves. And one of those laws says that all slaves, and remember that's all of us, I made us all slaves, must be off on Sunday. Why? Because all slaves must be converted to Roman Catholicism. They were forced to go to Catholic Mass. So look what God did. Y'all done booked the tour on a Sunday. Happy Sunday, y'all were off. Well, Mass don't last all day. Unless you go to a Latino or Latina Mass, it's gonna last all damn day. Or if you go to an Italian Mass or a Filipino Mass, it's gonna last all damn day. Especially if you're in an Italian Mass, it's gonna be all day. Squats for Jesus, that's all they do is squats for Jesus. But these people French, they left royalty so they can have room to drink and have fun. 2 hours of Mass. Now the slaves are off. They're not going to the river. That's what their families are being sold to the plantations in the area. They don't want to see that. So they ran the opposite direction down this path right here and hopped the wall and come right here where you're standing. And of course, when they hop the wall and come here, who do they see over there in the distance? The Homa Native Americans. And they are pissed with the French for stealing their land. But the Homa Native Americans see the Africans and they don't look like the French. The Homa are like, wait a minute, them people over there look like us, that's a little darker. And the Africans are like, wait, them people over there look like us, that's a little lighter. They gotta be part of us. So these people came together right here and they met each other. And the natives had to tell the Africans, they enslaved y'all? They tried to enslave us too. They messed up because we're from the area. We just took off running because we know the woods and they don't. That's why they went and got y'all, huh? And the Africans were like, bet. So the natives got their revenge by first starting off by teaching the Africans how to survive off the land. They taught the Africans how to find the wild ginger and break it at the root to rub on their skin to keep the bugs off. Showed them where the wild onions and wild garlic grow. Showed them where the wild pecans were. All sorts of things. And the natives also reminded the Africans, they stole the land from us. The laws that apply there do not apply here. As long as you're here, you can do as you please. Now, I know some of y'all thinking, can the Africans just escape? Where they gonna go? They're surrounded by 4 bodies of water. Lake Pontchartrain, the Gulf of Mexico, the Mississippi River, and Lake Bourne. That's 40 miles of water in every direction except for one. Thousands of miles of water in the south. With the average size of an alligator back then being 10 to 12 feet. Average size of a human, exhibit A. Yeah, perfect size for alligator bait. So of course they're not escaping, but they decided to keep their culture alive, and they decided by starting by doing this. You know what we call this in the community? Jazz! That's jazz. I know, that's jazz music. That is jazz, that is bones. You know what the captains called that? Noise. You know that gave birth to most of the music y'all like to listen to today? Pop, rock and roll, neo soul. Love it, Erykah Badu, you're a goddess. Here's the one that made the guy from Alabama mad, the one they call Africa a country 3 times on this tour. Jazz music gave birth to American country music. We have a picture and 3 documentations to prove that one, by the way. 2 Native American and 3 African men. Mr. Alabama wasn't having that one. He was mad. Remember, this man had a cowboy hat on, cowboy boots. He was standing on the tour pretending to be bow-legging in front of his 30-year younger wife. Yeah, and he was like, our music didn't come from black people. I pulled my computer out of my pocket and I logged on to the Harvard University website and I pulled up not 1, not 2, but 3 articles and I showed it to him. You know what that man told me? Well, that's obviously fake news. I was happy about that. Want to know why? I don't care how you vote. I really don't, because they all evil in my eye. They really do, because that whole system is rigged. I got proof of that with just the history itself. But, fake news means that no matter how he feels, he's gonna go home and look that up. And that's what I was banking on, for him to actually look it up. I said, well, sir, you must think I'm a Democrat. Sir, I'm neither one of those things. I just vote for the person that's gonna take away the least amount of my rights. It's not my fault that usually goes against the way you vote. And I scrolled it down to the bottom of the webpage and I said, you see those 3 links right there at the bottom? Click that first one. He clicked it and the article popped up showing the anthropologists in Africa digging up the musical stuff, tying them to the West. And I said, that's what you call a source. That's what you check to make sure the information you're reading is correct. It must be tied to a university study or an anthropological study. That way you know your politics not involved in it. And Fox News is not a university. I'm quoting him right now. This is the quote. He looked me in my eye and said, well, I knew this tour was a mistake. Our music didn't come from a bunch of monkey niggers. And then he walked off the tour. Now, but God is good. And remember, you don't let one be the representation of all. You never do that. Never do that. You never let one be the representation of all. I'm about to talk to y'all about that during y'all therapy session in a second. He walked off, but the wife stayed, and she was like, I'm so sorry for my husband's language and behavior, and handed me $100 tip. Now, hold on. Don't judge, because, you know, I mean, I know Ben Franklin did, but he was a good date that night. I was like, that's Ben Franklin. That's my favorite non-president. And I had me a sushi date with Ben Franklin that night. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I had me a glass of Cabernet. We sat down. I had so much sushi pieces. He went home with the waitress, though. They deserved each other, I guess. Anyway, so the wife was like, thank you for your teachings. And I said, man, words only hurt when you give them power. Your husband's words ain't had no power. As they were making their way over there to that trash can over there, you know what she did? She stuck her foot out and he face planted right down that concrete. She tripped her husband. Hold on, see, I wasn't gonna laugh, but you got me back there. She got me real good. She held it in too. You held that one in hard too. I ran over there and I helped them up. Here's the reason why. We only have one race on this planet, and it's called Homo sapien. That's the name of our race. I have to represent you, I have to represent you, and you when I walk out my front door. Because we're all part of the same tribe, we're all the same race. I'm not gonna represent us with unkindness or like hate. So I ran over there and I helped that man get up off the ground because I want to represent our race with kindness and acceptance. And of course, when he saw me, he jerked away from me and fell back on the ground. And the wife went, see, leave him. And she left him. Now the tables are turned. Never wait for your third sign. Your second sign is sufficient. When someone shows you how dirty they are, when they fall, you allow them to wallow in their own filth. After that, I left this racist ass on the ground and I laughed. Any questions? All right, it's time to do something that the Catholics hated the most in the 1800s. Let's go talk about freeing yourself from your spiritual bonds. Let's go. Yeah, and they openly admitted that. They wrote it down. Of course, I come here so if those of you who need to sit, you can sit because this whole open area is so important. Yeah, if you want to sit, because we're going to be doing that therapy session. All right. Please sit there, darling. So, as you can see, there's an open raised area right there. Y'all see it at the top? And then there's a metal medallion. We're going to go out there in a few minutes, okay? But first, I need to talk about what was there first. The Homo Native Americans, before the French came, they had a wooden pole right there. Now, this is speculation. This is not documentation, okay? This is speculation from the people of the Homo tribe that still exists today, passed down. But they said in their families they had a wooden pole right there, and they carved the faces of all their gods and goddesses in that wooden pole. And this wooden pole went way up in the air, and it had deer hide at the end of it. And then they believed that when the wind blew, that was the gods and goddesses answering their prayers. Now, the French believed back then if it's not Christian, it's devil worshiping, not in the Bible, it's black magic. So of course when they saw that, they chopped it down and they set it all on fire in the name of Jesus, officially starting a war off between the French and the Homo Native Americans. Now, who didn't care about any of this and didn't really matter to them? Well, the Africans kinda. Here's the deal, the Africans didn't know the French had done it to the natives. And the Africans were talking and communicating with the natives through the Creole language, understanding what the French had actually done to them. So with that in mind, the Africans started learning the actual Native American culture and started teaching it to their children. Eventually, through time, now you have people like the Mardi Gras Indians who are half African and half Native American, keeping that culture alive. We'll circle back around to them at the end of the tour. But while over here, the natives told the Africans, hey, that's the most spiritual center in the entire area. That's where we do our rituals. That's where we bring our dead. That's where we do our blessings. That's where we do our marriages. That's where we do everything. And the Africans are like, oh yeah? Okay, bet. So the Africans started doing their African ritual around that central point. And the natives are like, wait a minute. Y'all doing the same thing we doing, just slightly different. So the natives joined them. And again, with the marriage of the African religion and culture married to the Homa and Chapatulas. That's how you pronounce that street. Chapatulas, over there by the river. Some of y'all were riding, y'all was like, how do you pronounce that? What is this? A bunch of letters. Chapatulas. That's the name of the native people that lived on the river in the Mississippi. With the marriage of the Homa, the Chapatulas, and the Choctaw, culture and religion married to the African religion, bam, Louisiana Voodoo was born right there at that center, and the first Voodoo ritual in Louisiana took place right there. We still use that area today for a lot of things, and when we go out there, you may see some offerings of like pennies and nickels and stuff left out there too. With that in mind, keep in mind the history of the natives and the Africans, and also these other people of color who were enslaved. They were taken from their lands, never to see their families, their land, or any of their belongings ever again, and thrust into a situation that they were unfamiliar with, and beaten if they opened their mouth and it wasn't the language of the people that was oppressing them. Can you imagine the mental health issues that could possibly cause? But thanks to the marriage to the Native Americans, mental health was passed down from them to the Africans on how to survive in a situation like that. Cup your hands, come cup your hands over the metal medallion. I'm gonna put a little bit of the holy water in your hands and I want you to rub it. You're gonna smell it, it's very floral. Breathe in the essential oils and let it happen, okay? Just release it and let it happen. Go pretty lady. Awesome, sir.
Thank you.
Good. Now, I'm gonna join y'all too. Don't think that this is something that I'm exempt from. No, we all have trials and tribulations every single day. Now, yes, oh, I do that too. You smell it?
It's so bad.
You smell it? Okay.
You should sell that.
No, because if I sell it, you know what happens when we start doing stuff like that? People will start copying us. Yeah, this is a special treat for y'all. I don't do this on my tours. This is, no, because y'all came today. So, and also some of y'all needed this. Now, with me, with me, breathe in, breathe out, and relax, and let it go. Let it go. From here on out, you will never give anyone permission ever again to make you feel unjustified over the way you feel about something that is hurting you. From here on out. And from here on out, you will never allow anyone permission ever again to dim your light. If who you are is not murdering, killing, or causing harm to anyone in the world, then so be it. Be it. Your religious beliefs that tell you all these restrictions, hey, do some digging and see where those restrictions come from. Maybe you're living a life that's not meant for you. Remove those restrictions and still carry the religion. This is what we call unlearning. Y'all got it? That's what you call unlearning. Now that what you just did was a voodoo cleanse. And of course the Catholics call that devil worshiping. And it's true, they literally call that devil worshiping. But what you went through was a 0.5 on a scale of 1 to 10. As far as like how we do our cleansing in voodoo and how we have our mental health practices and stuff like that. Now, y'all ready to laugh? Yes. I want to talk about that damn voodoo doll so I can tell y'all what it really is. So we did it earlier with the needle and all that. Here's the truth. The idea of stabbing needles and dolls to hurt people actually doesn't come from Africa, Haiti, or New Orleans. It comes from another country, England. I know, witches in England used a small doll about this big made out of wax known as a puppet. They would take these wax dolls and take the hair of the people that hurt them and put them in these wax dolls and take these long ass needles and start stabbing these dolls with these needles to get their revenge. Hollywood took the puppet, put it in the movies, changed the name from puppet to voodoo doll. I know y'all gonna look this up. So the source is 1934 for the love of Wanga. That was the name of the movie. Okay, so change the name from puppet. Shut up, Carlos. This the crow, Carlos. Change the name from puppet to voodoo doll, put it in the movies, and then of course everybody saw it and it became so famous. The city started selling it to you guys when y'all visit. You can go to a grocery store, a marketplace, or a bar and find you an authentic voodoo doll. How you know it's authentic? Because it says authentic on the label, so it must be real, right? We're in New Orleans. Made from 2 pieces of cotton, some Spanish moss, and some fabric for $45 damn. And then you turn around at the bottom and this is made in China. So what's a real voodoo doll then if it's not the needles and the dolls and stuff like that? Y'all not gonna believe it. Let's say me and him, we're back in the 1700s and the 1800s. Now he knows, as people of color, it is illegal for me and him to go to the hospitals. It's illegal for me and him to go to the marketplaces. But the most important thing, it's illegal for me and him to read or write. He knows I'm the voodoo priest though. That forced me to learn herbology from the Native Americans. And as I said, y'all call it herbology, we call it hoodoo. If you speak Spanish, you're gonna call it brujeria. That's what we practice. I know, I had to remember to do the Spanish version. It's the same thing, it's just a different name. So you practice, that's when grandma used to take the white egg and rub it all over your body, absorb all the energy. You know there's some science behind that with electromagnetic pulses, right?
No.
Yeah, yeah, I know, because all the scientists are going, that shit don't work, that shit don't. Now they're finding out that not even trees communicate with each other through electromagnetic pulses. Yeah, so it's just like, okay, and y'all know science is not wrong, science changes. You know what that means, right? So when y'all say, well, the scientist said this, well, that was years ago. We got to evolve and find out new information. So it's not wrong, it just changes. So don't say you can't trust science. Let me get off that. Anyway, so he come over to me, he says, Robi, I got a headache and his headache would not go away. I got him. I'ma dab a little lavender oil right down to his nose, rub some peppermint oil on his forehead, make him drink a full cup of chamomile tea. Ladies on the tour, if you're over a certain age, going through a certain phase of life, you're welcome. He might be stressed out from the previous voodoo ritual that we had, so let's bring his stress levels down from all the dancing. When we're done while he's drinking the tea, I'm gonna start making a doll that looks exactly like him to the best of my ability. I'll even get him to help me make this doll look more like his face. He know his face better than anybody. Once we're done, I'll take a needle and put it right there in the head of the doll. And I'm gonna take that doll and put it up there on the shelf, because I got dolls of every last one of you up there that you have helped me make of you with needles in random places. Then he can go back home to his family. So the next week when the family come back to see me, he's like, Robi, that's my doll up there. That's my doll. That's the doll we made together last week. And I take the doll off the shelf. I'm like, this is your doll. It looks exactly like you. And I noticed there's a needle in the head of the doll, so I'm reminded. I worked on his head the last time I saw him. The voodoo doll is a record-keeping device. It's a medical chart. It's illegal for black people to read or write. Wow. This is why you never tell a black person we need to get over it. It's because people truly believe that we're walking out our front doors, taking somebody's hair, putting it in dolls, and then being called devil worshippers and saying that we practice black magic. I would rather go to Walmart and buy me a Nerf gun and find your ass on the street and shoot you with that Nerf gun before I get your hair and put on a damn doll, a ugly ass one at that, trying to stab needles in it, trying to figure out if it's working or not.
What were the dolls made of?
They were made out of hay, because that was common everywhere. Hay, and then whatever fabric they could find. And clay, of course the clay for the face, because you know, we're in Louisiana, there's clay everywhere. Anybody, any other questions?
Is what you did now in the cleaning part of how you, was that part of the voodooism? Like
yes.
That belief and
oh, yes.
all of that?
I'm gonna go deeper than that, because that's really good that you asked that. She wants to know, the thing I just did with y'all, the cleansing and everything, is that part of being and you said the right thing. You said voodooism, voodooism, or voodooism, but that voodooism is good. That's part of the religion, yes. And we put everyone in the religion through those things if they choose to. Some people don't get success from going through something like that. Some people need just to be independent and go through it and find the answers. But it's just an option of many that we provide in the religion to find relief and to be happy in life. Because I know many other different methods too, besides just that one. And we're taught that when we become high priests and priestesses.
So was what you were talking about here your preach? Is that you preaching?
No. We don't have that whole sermon, preacher, stand on a mount and proselytize, because why?
Yeah, but is that your...
That's my job though.
Okay.
As a priest?
Yeah.
To do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
That's my job. But
okay.
my sisters don't do that. They rather throw you in the bathtub and throw some salt on your head and say, sit there for 2 hours. and they'll sit there and watch you for 2 hours. Anybody else? Good question, sis.
In voodoo, is there like do everybody come together who has the same belief leave certain times to have like a service or anything?
That's a good question. She wants to know, like, I'm gonna use an example on that one. You know how the Christians, like the Catholics, go to Mass every Sunday, and they congregate. That's what the word congregation comes from. They congregate together. We don't have that every Sunday because the religion itself is not a missionary religion, which means we don't believe we're the only ones right. Every Sunday is just the day the slaves had off. It just so happens that a ritual is done every Sunday here. Now, as far as being obligated to go to a space and worship, we don't have that. A priest or a priestess will say, hey, I'm throwing a ritual for this spirit. I'm inviting y'all to come. And then whoever come. If they don't, they don't. Yeah, and the ritual still goes on no matter who's there between the priest and their family and whatnot. And that can happen whenever.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Traditionally, it was Sunday because that's when the slaves.
That's when they head off. Yeah. I can do a whole tour on that actually. Like that question you asked, I can do a whole tour telling you each day. Monday for the fried chicken and the red beans and rice. There's a whole thing about that. Yeah. You're stimulating this historian's brain.
So if a person were to like want to like become more involved in like the Voodoo religion, is that open? Like,
you being so polite with the way you're asking me that question, I'm just gonna be blunt with it because she's being so cute and polite. The question she really want to ask is, can white people join this religion? That's what she want to ask. And the answer is yes, because here's the reason why. There's no such thing as a white person or a black person. Or we're all just different shades of brown and we're the same race. So to tell a white person they can't join this religion is to tell me I can't join this religion because I'm also French, I'm also Irish, I'm also Scottish, I am also English. And to deny that side of my heritage is a big slap in my face. So anyone can join this. Now the people we don't like is, you know this one woman, everybody know this woman. She live on the outskirts of town. She got a big ass sign at the end of town that says psychic readings. And she's a white lady from up north. And she looks like you, blonde hair, blue eye, just a little shorter and a little squatter. Cause she smells like yeast and patchouli. And she got crystals here, crystals here, crystals here, crystals here, crystals here. If you gotta have that many crystals, the crystals ain't working. And then she got Native American tattoos here, Christian tattoos here. She got the Star of David, Christian cross, pentagram, Egyptian ankh, necklaces around her neck, walks around with a white shawl, hair is always long and down, looks like Stevie Nicks, and then has a shawl and walks around like this. Yeah, no, we don't like them. And they come in many different colors, textures, and shades and sizes. But then the one we don't like. Yeah. But anyone can pray to their ancestors because we all have ancestors. Anybody else? You got a question?
Yes. So when you came out to your parents, they disapproved. Is that something? Was that their just a personal belief, or
my dad's side of the family is Black Baptist.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and I have more than one mother because African, you know, y'all heard that expression, it takes a tribe?
Yeah.
Okay, my biological mother is not a priestess. She is a Black Baptist woman. Her cousin, my godmother, who's also related, you know.
Yeah.
Like my grandma, technically not my grandmother, she's my cousin. But she raised my mom. So that's grandma.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So that side of the family is still Black Baptist. And they don't even understand that Black Baptists come from voodoo. But they not ready for them conversations. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's what happened with that. Is that side of the family, my dad and my mom, Black Baptist, was like, my mama was very violent about it. You know what's crazy? She don't remember it.
Of course.
And neither does my dad. You ask them if that happened, they say no. But the fact is that that's the old version of me, and these are two different people now, and they're older, and they're getting to that age where, you know.
Yeah.
So you learn to appreciate your parents whenever you start seeing your father starting to show signs of dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So forgiveness was a hard one.
Yeah.
It was a hard one because I wanted to hate them. I wanted to hate them so bad. Yeah. But then I understood how short and precious life is and how miserable they were growing up. Now I feel sorry for them. Anybody else?
What about voodoo and like psychics?
I'm glad you brought. He wanted to know. This is why the fake Christians hate us. Is because they think that we got psychic powers, and which is tied to the devil. If I had psychic powers, guess who wouldn't be on the job right now? I'd have won the lottery tenfold. I'm being serious. I'd have got them numbers. Hey fam, you ain't got the babies today, huh? He has 2 babies, the dogs. We call them. They are babies. They're children.
I was just their slave.
They so precious and cute. What happened?
I was their slave. Walking and dragging.
They had you dragging. They dragged you.
Squirrels and dogs.
Ah.
Have a
Have a good one, cousin. Yeah, see, animals are a big deal. What was the question? See, I started thinking about pets. Psychics, yeah. Here's the expression. If it don't make sense, don't try to make it make sense. What sense does it make to set up all them tables in front of a Catholic church talking about some psychic readings? Ain't that's a Catholic church? Now, why the hell you gonna do some shit like that? And then put a table and say psychic readings in front of the Catholic church? If it don't make sense, don't try to make it make sense. Something's off about that. That should tell you something. Stay away. Yeah, so the readings are done to find solutions to problems that you can't find. So what happens is, let's say you exhausted all your resources trying to find a new job. So you come to me, the priest, and say, Robi, I've done this, I've done that, I don't know what's going on. I mean, nobody calling me back. I'm gonna be like, come on, let's get these playing cards. We need to come up with a solution then. And we're gonna start throwing some cards down. I'm gonna start throwing out some suggestions to you. That's how readings are done. Not this, oh, you're gonna have 3 twins in the future and all that. Yeah. Damn it, if you can see the future, can you please warn us when the next 9/11 event gonna happen? Or the next major war in the Middle East gonna happen? Because we got drug into this war, didn't even ask to be a part of it. Now people in this country hate each other over the actions of one man. Men love to have sex with them, but god damn it, they dumb as hell. Sorry ladies, the babies, I'm so sorry. I know y'all in y'all 20s, but I'm sorry.
I agree. What role does animal, you're gonna get to that?
Yes,
okay.
They're so sacred to us. Animals.
Yeah.
She wants to know what roles are animals. Animals are sacred to us until it's time to eat them. Then they're not sacred, they're food.
Right.
Yeah, so very sacred. We don't kill animals unless it's necessary to as well. For instance, I hate roaches.
Yeah.
So what, instead of using Raid, which if you use Raid and the roach die and you put them outside, if an owl eats that roach, that owl is now poisoned.
Oh, wow.
So what we do is take Dawn dishwashing detergent because it's biodegradable, and roaches breathe through their skin, and put it in the water and spray them with that, and then they die instantly, and then because it's biodegradable, throw it outside, the owl like, oh, die.
So they die right there?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Just, they be trying to walk and they just...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because you know, La Cucaracha ain't supposed to be in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't play that water bug or a roach. Like, I think that's culturally all around, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just culturally all around. Oh, yeah. Even in Haiti, we may be poor, but ain't no roaches in nobody's house. Anybody else? Oh, y'all getting the questions in now because y'all know the story about the end, huh?
What about the afterlife and...
Look, that's a good question. What about our afterlife beliefs? We have 4 afterlife beliefs, one of which Hollywood is the reason why people think that we worship the devil. First afterlife belief is that when you die, you go back to your Met-Tet, your guardian angel. Your Met-Tet becomes an elemental spirit. So your grandmother is an elemental spirit, which means she's part of the earth. In my case, since I'm a priest, Yemeya is my Met-Tet. So my spirit will go back and help her maintain the rhythms of the ocean. And I put a little prayer request in and said, put me at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, because that's where I want to be. And then the second belief is that you're reincarnated as a human again, because you've done so well, like the good Christians do. When the good Christians feed the homeless people and they drop food randomly on people's porches and stuff, God's like, I need you doing that shit again. So I'm gonna reincarnate you and put you back down there so you can continue doing that, because these humans killing each other. Third belief is that you've been reincarnated so many times and you've been helping the spirit. Damn, Carlos, you loud today. Damn. He mad because I ain't left no food at the gate today. Sorry. The other belief is that you've been reincarnated and you've been helping the spirit elementally so long that now Legba, the gatekeeper who I told you about, he will open the gates of freedom and allow your soul to go to a peaceful, euphoric place to rest. Until God say, you done resting? I need to reincarnate you because these people that started a damn war down there, you gotta be their savior. You know, that kind of situation. Now, the fourth belief is the one that Hollywood has bastardized and ran with. We got this spirit by the name of Baal Samedi. His name is not Baron Samedi. I'm so sick of hearing that bullshit. And Hollywood and turned this man into a baby-eating, cocaine-snorting Jamaican with a white face, blonde red eyes, and dreadlocks. In real life, he's just think of a 1950s pimp wearing tuxedo tails. He got his cane, he got a monocle, top hat, no bones or nothing. And then he decided to disguise half his face because, you know, he don't trust them hoes. And he walk like this here with his cane, like this. Okay, that's bad. He got that 1950s swag. Anyway, so his job is to ferry your soul safely to the graveyard or to whenever you transition or when you die. But if you're a pedophile or a rapist or one of those people like that, he won't touch your soul. So you become a wandering spirit. And what do we know as a wandering spirit? A ghost. Not all ghosts are wandering spirits. Some people, when they die, God be like, Balhon, go get them so I can reincarnate them over here. And then Balhon go to get them, and they jerk away from him because they don't realize they dead. And he'd be like, you don't even realize you dead. Well, I'm gonna come back in another 100 years or 200 years and check on you. And that's why sometimes when y'all take those photos in those old homes, y'all get those apparitions in those photos because some people don't know they dead. Those are our afterlife beliefs. Oh, that's a very good question. She wants to know, how do you figure out who your Tet is, your head spirit? The only way to know that is to go through an initiation rite. As a high priest, I can look at you and speculate a spirit. For instance, I see Oshun all over you. That bougie, gotta be all made up pretty all the damn time, trying to be a tomboy but fails at it situation. I can see her all over you. But that don't mean that's your Tet. I just see her all over you. So the only way is to do it is to go through an initiation rite of passage, and I can't explain that one because I break my vows of secrecy.
For reincarnation, can you just elaborate more on how do you know that?
Oh, reincarnation is not just about being reincarnated as a human. Also, your soul is energy, and the energy comes in every form, and also is empty at the same time. So if you, like my friend Jeff, who I live with, Jeff is a Buddhist. He's the Monkey King's son, Buddha. And we even have stories in Voodoo of our spirit Shango, thunder and lightning, walking with Buddha. Because these are all ancient religions, so all these things know each other. Anyway, he says he wants to be reincarnated as a dog. Because he finds him so loyal. He's a loyal person.
Yeah.
And also he likes to play, and Jeff loves to play. And he makes animal noises all the time. So we have a belief that that's what he's gonna be in his next life.
Okay.
And then you have people like me who like, I don't care. Can I just come back and have some sense? That's all. I just want to come back and have more sense than what I got right now. So is that the, did I answer the question? I don't even know if I answered the question.
Yeah, I think
Oh, okay.
so.
Because I be, girl, this is the historian with who's neurodivergent. We babble.
That's okay.
Okay. Anybody else?
How many Tet are
Actually, let me rephrase that because I know what you're trying to ask. How many Loa / Orisha are there? There's over 400 to 500 Loa and Orisha. And as a high priest, we're supposed to know every last one's name and their domain. Ask me, do I know?
No.
Any other questions? The elders in your family will designate them per your area. For instance, back home, the elders are designated certain oak trees in the bayou that are associated with certain spirits. But when I go to someone else's home and they're also a family of voodoo, the elders will tell me what tree that they've designated in that area. Let's say I'm in Canada, no community up there. I'll designate it myself. It don't have to be an oak tree. It could be a magnolia tree, a pecan tree, it could be a hickory nut tree, it could be a damn lantana plant. As long as it's something growing out of the earth because we're made of earth.
So in the absence of an elder, anyone can do it?
Yes. And let's say you want to join the voodoo and you want to start praying to your ancestors. When you go home, if you can't find a community, find your favorite tree and start leaving the offerings at the bottom of the tree. It'll tell the community that secretly that might be there that's part of the religion that you are trying to reach them to. And if there isn't one there, anyone who visits will know that you're there, that there's a community person there that's in the religion.
How can you distinguish, like if you're going somewhere new, between like if something is an offering or just trash?
That's a very good question, and I don't even know how to answer that. Because I can tell you a number of times I went to Florida thinking, oh, that's sacred, and somebody had just ate their lunch. I know, right? So I can't answer that one. They left a banana peel under the tree because, it's biodegradable. And so I was like, oh, this is the place where somebody leave offering. And the lady had just had a banana for lunch. So I can't answer that one, I'm so sorry. However, if you want to find a community of voodoo in your area, that's how you find it though. Is go find the oldest tree in the area, no matter what kind it is, and look down and see if you see money or fruit or anything like that there. That was a good one.
What do you think about appropriation? Like where's the
Appropriation?
Yeah.
It's only appropriation when you're trying to make money off of it. If you're doing it for yourself, and saying like, this is for me. I'm not out here trying to tell somebody I'm some big bad voodoo priest or anything like that. I'm just praying to my ancestors and serving these spirits because I choose to, and that is not your business. That's fine. It becomes appropriation when you're out there saying, I'm a voodoo, like this lady down the street, Sally Ann Glassman, married a Jewish man. She's a white lady with blonde hair and blue eyes from Maine. Came down here and then started telling the community, I'm a voodoo witch and I'm the new voodoo queen of New Orleans. And all the black people went, really? Oh, okay, tu parles Creole Louisiana? Oh, I don't speak French. Bitch, that's not French, that's Creole. You ain't us. And then because she gave a reading to Joan Rivers, now she's supposed to be famous here in the city of New Orleans, and she can't even speak our language. That's appropriation. That's appropriation. But your skin color ain't got nothing to do with that. Because we all one race, human. That's my sister, that's my sister, that's my sister, that's my sister, that's my future husband, that's my sister, that's my sister, that's my brother.
So what do you think about people who are like, I'll teach you how to connect with something, but they say, well, I have to do something to make money, so I might as well do this as a service.
Say that one.
So what if there's someone selling ancestral healing online?
Yeah, that's a no-go already right there.
Okay.
Somebody selling you ancestral healing online, you doing the wrong thing. You got to go find an elder in their sacred native community and then ask them if they do it. And then they'll tell you what the village needs before they do that for you. And on this, I call them TikTok witches. All these people on TikTok trying to teach people how to do moon magic. And I'm sitting here going, this is an electronic device. How you teaching moon magic from an electronic device? How you bathing in the moonlight when you're in your house under a lamp? This ain't making no sense. Then they got these people teaching people to sage themselves every day. If you gotta sage yourself every day, the sage ain't working. I'm serious. That little bundle of sage supposed to last you 10 years, that little tiny thing. You're supposed to sage once a year. And then open your windows and let that shit out. Don't just sage the house and just let everything circle right inside your house. Ain't no windows open to let the shit out. So things like that, that's why you don't get online trying to learn anything. Because there's people always trying to scam. There's people right now pretending to be me online right now, because I get messages about it. Scamming people saying that we do black voodoo magic to help you get your husband back. Yeah, took my picture off Facebook and everything. And I was like, if y'all dumb enough, after all these videos and all these teachings, I've been doing this for 20 years, to believe someone pretending to be me and to say that, then you need your money took from you. So yeah, come to me whenever you're ready to learn. You got my email address? I'm serious. You hear that? Okay. No, he here because this is his birthright. He's learning his way. That's why he recording. Anybody else? Y'all got to get these questions in because this is the last spot. You're welcome to listen if you choose. I know you just walked up, but we're about to end this.
It's okay.
Yeah. All right, take a look at this, y'all. Now, yes, the faces should look familiar. My face is resembling theirs for a reason. They say that this one looks more like me than anybody else looking that way. And I agree, because this was molded actually after my blood family. So remember I told y'all my family's out here every Sunday, and from the looks of it, they might be out here today. It looks like the rain might be leaving, I don't know. Doing ritual. All you're invited. But an artist in 2008 come here from West Africa, and he saw my family out here. We were getting it that day too. I was on the drum, and all you saw was booty popping, boom, 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 boom. Them girls were getting it. And he was like, oh my goodness, they're African. Let me run over there, because I'm African, and let's see what's going on. So he ran over there to my Aunt Denise, the one y'all saw earlier during the tour. And he said, oh my goodness, are you guys African? I'm from Benin. This is what we do every Sunday. She says, we African American? He said, no. This is what we do back in Africa. This is what we do every Sunday. This is ritual. This is voodoo. So y'all gotta be African. She said, we're African American. And then she realized, and then I realized too, this is the only dumbass country that actually has titles like that. You know, African American, European American, Spanish American. They do that because it's racist here. She had to explain it to her, and an African American person knows in which Africa their ancestors come from. That's what makes us African American. A black American has no idea where their ancestors come from. And he was so impressed that my family keeps our, he handmade this in my family's likeness and presented it to the park as a gift in 2010. Wow. And then my family, my aunt, being my aunt, oh, y'all gonna put this out here, think we're not gonna use it? So the family turned it into an ancestor altar. That's why if you look real close, you'll always find offerings left at the bottom of some of the people's feet. Now, there's a story to this too that he added some symbolism. Notice the Native American woman right there in the background, and she's looking to the left, not part of the African tribe there. What's going on? Remember I told y'all the natives were plotting against the French? They were mad for getting their land stolen. So the natives came out here, and while the Africans were doing ritual, remember I told y'all the natives were dancing too. Native get close to an African, take off a headdress, throw it on that one, keep on dancing. Found another African slave, take off a shirt, throw it on that one, keep on dancing. Now you got all these Africans now dressed as Native Americans. Slaves gotta be back at the slave cabins before the sunset. That's the law. So as the sun was setting, the natives will be like, well, will you look at that? The sun setting. That means we gotta go back to our village, and these Africans gotta go back to the slave cabins over there in the French Quarter. Well, I see no Africans here. All right, let's go. We're going home, let's go. And all these Africans dressed as natives literally walked away from slavery. We have 28 documented cases of the French getting angry, writing down they were losing their property, and they wanted the city to do something about it. And the city couldn't do nothing, because if they did, they start the next Native American war. They made it 30 minutes in this direction, the natives and the Africans. And the area today is known as Lake Bourne. Lake Bourne, that's near Menchac Swamp. That's where some of my people come from. They integrated and they had children, and now we got the Mardi Gras Indians. Half African, half Native American men. Y'all see every carnival with those huge feathered outfits, doing all those dances. Y'all not just here, also in Mexico, also in Jamaica, also in Haiti, where my mama come from, also in Saint Martinique, also in Saint Martin. The same people doing the same thing, one tribe. I normally end this tour by giving y'all something to giggle and laugh about. We're not gonna do that today. I need y'all ladies to understand how powerful you are, and for the men on this tour to understand we should be elevating them. So I'm gonna end with something I said earlier to help you fight the good fight. And I've been using this expression for almost 20 years of doing this. And y'all know what that expression is. If you're part of any religion or cult situation that requires you to leave your home and find total strangers on the street and convince them that who they are is wrong and your way is right, and if they don't convert to your side, they are eternally damned. That is not a religion, that is not a spirituality, that is a cult. You seek help. You guys are now officially released. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Why you hit me?
You getting ate up today. I don't know what you did to these ladies. All three of them was giving you the evil, what they call it? What y'all call it? The evil eye, the stink eye.
The stink eye.
That's what they call when you gonna give them the stink eye, like, I don't know what you did to these ladies, but you better religion or a cultural tradition. Actually, we're more of a cultural tradition, even though we're listed as a religion by anthropologists. Because the reason is because of the malleability of the religion itself, being able to go to one place and mold itself in, like most earth-based religions do, like pagan religions do the same thing. So we're an organized religion, like there's rules, but we're also malleable and flexible. If that makes sense.
So when you become a high priest, you are actually, there's some rule, there's some things, okay.
Oh yeah.
You've done
I have
A, B,
to
C, D,
sacrifice.
E, F.
Yes. So there's a sacrifice, like some of y'all come from Christian backgrounds or Abrahamic religion backgrounds, so y'all understand this. As a high priest, we do have taboos with certain things I can't do for the rest of my life. You're gonna laugh at me on this one. I cannot eat ice cream. Wait, let me tell you. I had to give up anything that's extremely cold or extremely hot. So no more hot tea, no more cold ice cream. Okay. If I eat it, it has to be room temperature, and I blend Oreos in it and make a milkshake out of it, and I drink it.
Okay.
Why?
Because the spirit, my Metet that sits on my head, that's one of her balances in order for me to represent her.
Okay.
Yeah, and each priest has their own unique taboo.
What are some examples?
So it's just depending on when you go through the initiation and you find out what yours is, that then you have rules that come with
Yes,
that. Okay.
yes.
Examples of other.
Oh, other examples. For instance, children of Obatala. So Obatala is the spirit of light. He's a reformed monk. So he used to be a drunk, and then he found God, and then he became the spirit of light. So now he's pure. If you get initiated under the Obatala, if you end up being one of your Metets, you can't eat anything red for the rest of your life. So that means no strawberries, no cherries, and those are my, can you imagine? Oh.
No red beans?
No red beans. Oh, I wouldn't be able to do it, Jesus. I wouldn't be able to handle it, Lord. Red beans off the table? Hell no, child. But they can't eat red beans. And they can't eat anything red for the rest of their lives because they're red is the color of blood, and they have to represent purity. That's why we don't, another common misconception, animal sacrifice they say we do in the religion. That's one of the reasons why we don't have animal sacrifice. It's because we have the spirit of light. Because blood is sacred. So we don't kill animals and drink their blood. You know, huh?
I might have missed it, but how does it determine which one is it? Through ritual?
Through ritual, yes, to figure out who your Metet is. Very rare to get a child of Obatala. Very common to get children of Oshun.
What's the difference with Santeria?
The only difference in Santeria is that they speak Spanish, and the peppers are a lot spicier,
Okay.
and they dance longer. 6 hours. We do 3. But it's the same. They just speak Spanish. Same spirits too.
So from Cuba, and he said when he had red hair, and so he said when he was little, people used to call him El Diablo, and then there was a man that cut him on his neck to use his blood. So like, what's up with that?
That's not even religious discrimination. That's just racism. And I know y'all used to hearing racism be going, oh, it's white against black. No, racism is anyone who hates another person because of the color of their skin. That is still racism. And to call him the devil because of his red hair, that's not just that culture in Cuba. That was all over the world. That's why the Irish and the Scottish were actually enslaved in the United States, believe it or not. They were considered to be children of Satan and have no soul. And that's why South Park picked it up and made fun of that. Like to make it a thing in the cartoon to make fun of people being that dumb. So you're poor, damn, that's so sad. That's really sad. This is why I think that racism and discrimination is just stupid. Like you dumb. How you treating your Chihuahua and your Golden Retriever the same? But your fellow human being got a little bit more olive in their complexion and you got an issue? What? Yeah. Oh, and something to add to that. Remember I told you to unlearn, you missed the ritual, we did a ritual earlier. Remember to unlearn everything that you've ever been taught. Here's an example of unlearning some things. How is it me, being a voodoo priest, and you've been told that I'm evil and I'm a devil worshiper? If I lead this tour right now, and I find a black chicken, and chop the head off that chicken, and sling the blood of that chicken on somebody's car, and then I scream out loud, I curse you in the name of voodoo. That's so easy to believe that. But when a Catholic priest touches a little boy between his legs, how is it so hard to believe that that's Christianity? That's why your grandfather got cut. Anybody else? Y'all just got me spitting shit extra